I hear the voices inside my head, see voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog, we fighting above the law.
Deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you.
No, this isn't a members live yet, Music and City Mom, but tonight I'll do a members live at work. Is the microphone working all right? Nene, Nut. Hi, Marty. How's the sound right now? It's not... Yeah, you can? Okay. Music City Mom 2. We'll do the members live tonight. I'm thinking in like 7 my time. So it's 1:30 my time right now. We'll see how it is at work. You remember, and it's live. Yes. Hi, Nanas. Welcome. Cowboy car crushing. Loud and clear. That's good. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Just Breathe. Hi, Angie. Zena. We're going to get into some trouble quick before I go to work because I don't understand why people hate me so much for just having what I think is fair questions about Mr. Rogers, Sebastian's father, because I can't help but rewatch, and the two-faced and hypocritical issues going on just rub me wrong, and I'm so confused why everyone else isn't hearing it or seeing it. As well as, it's very interesting that we are going on week 3 now, isn't it? I'm pretty sure, since Seth's polygraph. Let me hold up, because we're going to pull up Miss Nancy Grace's channel, and I do believe at least 2 weeks ago now, since the poly, and Nancy has not touched this case. Now, she's been alive and well over on her channel, busy over there, and she was touching Sebastian's case several times a week, 3-4 times a week, if you go back and look. And then Seth's poly, she asked Seth to do the poly, and then all of a sudden, since that live, and Seth showed up and fell asleep for his poly, Nancy's been quiet on the case. Weird. Did she send it to TBI? Did TBI gag her? Like, I have no idea. Now other people are noticing the weird... I knew as soon as I saw Seth do that arrest pose, yeah, I did say to myself, whoa, that's not a good look. And yeah, I right away thought of Chris Watts. I sure as hell did. So I want to pull this up. Justin, hey boo. Now, let me just say, this is my thoughts, my opinions, my questions. Just because someone is either a mod for me, a member for me, or even up on my panel, does not mean that they at all agree with the shit coming out of my mouth. All right? No. So don't go after them for my thoughts, my opinions, or, you know, Xena might post something different than I'm thinking. Justin might cover something or say things different than I think. And we might agree sometimes. But, you know, Marty, everyone. Cowboy Car Crusher is a creator as well. Crushes cars and shit. I have to, because people just get bashed even just for being in the chat. So just because you're chatting in this chat doesn't mean you agree with the shit coming out of my mouth. You know, let's be fair here. But I do want to bring to attention why I think or feel, and I think this might be a very good way, and it's going to be fair. Even people who don't agree with me have to stop and think, you know what, like, this is true. Hold on, what did I just fucking do? working on stuff. I'm just doing this quick before work. I'm going to do a members live at work where we can do an open panel and discuss further if people would like. All right, so I want YouTube. Let me find Nancy Grace here. Okay. Share my studio or whatever, my screen. Boom. I'm gonna change my background. I got the Tim Mullen back there. Who I can kind of smell in this Sebastian case, not gonna lie. Okay. Am I sharing? Yes. Okay, so like let's go back here, her videos. I just want people to see. We're gonna go back here. When did she have Okay, so right here is the last time she spoke on Sebastian's case.
Specifically chose Sundance because
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. 2 weeks ago, but sometime. So when was this actually on? April 9th, 2024. We are, yeah, so we're going, what are we on? We're on April 25th? Or, yeah, we're on April 25th. Yeah, so we're just over 2 weeks. It's 16 days. So not quite 3 yet. So, and again, if you go back and you look, I mean, she was, look at Sebastian this week. That's not Sebastian. Sebastian. Sebastian, Sebastian, Sebastian. Sebastian. I mean, like, she's... Did she only get on it like a month ago? Yeah, because it's been 2 months, I believe. So she jumped on about a month ago. So yeah, she's covered it quite a bit until the poly.
Sebastian's dad, his bio dad, Sebastian, Seth, I don't understand that because he told me he would take a polygraph if I set it up. I set it up. I went through a lot of hoops to get it set up. One convenient to him in the area where he says he's working. Then he wouldn't take it and blames the TBI. So now I find out he's told other outlets he's taken one and passed. Do you know the truth?
I don't. I really don't know, but I'll tell you what, I volunteered to take polygraph. I was told that I wasn't. I didn't need to because they have my location and whereabouts, but I still volunteered. And if somebody wants me to take one, that's something of my own free will. I haven't been told by TBI that I can't take one.
But he was told by TBI that maybe he shouldn't. So that is one thing. Hi, Squirrel Girl. Hi, everyone. So that is one thing that aligns with both Seth and Chris Proudfoot. Chris Proudfoot said TBI suggested that he doesn't take one with them. So it sounds like TBI also said the same thing to Seth as Chris is, we know your whereabouts. We know you were at work. You're on camera at work till 7 a.m. He was reported missing at 6:30 a.m. before you even left work. We don't need a poly from you, which is fucking bizarre to me. And that is what they told Chris Proudfoot as well. We know your whereabouts. We don't need you to take a poly. And Chris said that off the bat, and everyone was like, what? Like, we gave him hell for that. But Seth is saying that TBI told him the same thing, right? Hi, Black Widow. And now then he decided, yeah, I'll take it with Nancy Grace, but TBI said maybe I shouldn't. And Seth said TBI was like, why are you taking it? And Seth said, because, you know, Nancy Grace asked me to, so I'm going to. Now, there was a lot of finger pointing going on. Seth said that Katie is responsible and Chris is responsible for Sebastian's disappearance. Them's fighting words. They really are. I know we're seeing and being told everything we want to hear from Seth, but at the same time, there is weirdness going on that I'm just questioning. I want to pull this up because we can go through it. It's better for me to be able to stay on track because, like, I'm everywhere. I want to go to where she had, it's her last show she did in the past 16 days on Sebastian's case. Was it that one? Yeah, because she hasn't touched it in at least 2 weeks. But I don't know if it is this one. I thought it was longer than... Is it this one?
No offense, but if you still think stocks, real estate, or crypto are the best passive...
In the last hours, the bio dad and grandparents of missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers hold a vigil where everyone vows...
Okay, no, it's not this one.
...that Sebastian...
Not that one. It's this one.
Literally, in the last hour, a new search has been launched for missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers. Why? Why is there a new search recanvassing areas that have already been searched? Could it have anything to do with the fact that Sebastian's glasses may have been found? And right now, controversy swirling about a polygraph. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Crime Stories. Have been found. Are they Sebastians? First of all, on the new search, joining me, Lauren Conlon, investigative reporter and host of The Outlier. Lauren, thank you for being with us. I understand that a new search has just been launched. Who, what, where, when, why? Tell me.
Yes, so as you said, Nancy, it's in Hendersonville, and it's the same areas, and it's sheriffs in Sumner County and counties all over, and it's EMS workers, and it's more volunteers.
Do you guys remember listening with Cotton Candy Boobs and Benny? And Cotton Candies was playing the dispatch call that Mr. Share has started to clean up. We got some a little bit clearer, but some is still real mumbly. But anyway, now re-listening it back, we could have taken it different. We might have heard it wrong, but we heard the law say there's a history at this address. Now that could have been a question, but now I'm not sure it was a question. I do think it was a statement because now we go find out there was a history at that address, at least with CPS. So did the cops ever have to go with CPS? Sometimes they do. I'm not sure. Now, CPS has been involved at the Proudfoot home on what it sounds like multiple occasions because Sebastian told someone at the school that Chris did the belt thing to him or whatever, so they called CPS. But not only that, CPS has also been called on Seth Rogers. I don't know why people are forgetting this, but Seth Rogers also has, through the courts, abuse record on Sebastian. So I'm not sure why he feels high and mighty sitting up there and finger pointing at Chris and how terrible Chris is for putting corporal punishment on Sebastian when Seth himself was slapping around Sebastian. That's crazy to me. Slapping him around even at the school, where the school then had to get him involved on Seth. So both homes have CPS involved with both of these men. Not just Chris Proudfoot, but Seth Rogers also. And I can't for the life of me figure out why there is 99% of the people not willing to look this way. Why do we have the father needing approval from the stepfather on the moves he's making to help find his son? Does anyone else think that's a little fucking weird? Just me? I mean, Candace has a record. We've used that against her a million times in almost 3 years, but we're ignoring Seth Rogers. If Don had an abuse record, which we know what he's confessed to, and that, we throw Don's record at him. Don Wells doesn't even have an actual court record. He's got his DV, I think, 1 on his record, but he doesn't have child abuse. But Candace does. But either way, we throw the records at these people. In the Wells case, well, we're willing to totally turn a blind eye because Seth Rogers is out there looking for his son. Guess what? If I'm guilty of something with a child, I'm probably going to go out and look too. He knows all the right things and all the right moves to be making. He knew he wasn't going to pass that poly, but all he had to do was show up, and that makes him look above Chris Proudfoot for not showing up, right? Always his plan, in my opinion, to fall asleep and make it inconclusive. Because you can say, well, I didn't fail it. It's just inconclusive. I'm so tired. I just kept falling asleep. Like, why are we turning an eye to this, but we're not willing to turn an eye to it for Candace or Don or any other case? But we're doing this for Seth Rogers. And people are still doing it for Seth Rogers after he tells everyone to fuck off. Are you kidding me? Nah. Can't get behind that. But let's get through this because I got to work today.
And I believe it is.
I got a lot to say just in this video alone.
Sumner County EMS is saying 6 to 10 miles and so on. So this happened this morning. This is breaking news. They are saying this has nothing to do with the press conference yesterday with the glasses found, but that is all we know.
Guys.
Now, the glasses look similar enough that the father, Seth Rogers, wants them bagged up and taken in. That's fair enough. But law has come out and said, no, they are not Sebastian's glasses. I don't know at this point. I mean, they could be anyone's, I guess. I don't know.
When you hear Lauren Conlon, who's been on the case from the very beginning of
I know, ain't that crazy?
Rogers, when you hear her,
ain't that crazy? When Candace is saying that Katie Proudfoot don't act right, I don't know how to take that. I take that as that's pretty fucked up because I mean, it's very possible that Candace did tell Summer to go in the house, and maybe Don or Tim Mullen or Don and Tim or anybody allegedly could have been in that basement waiting. You know, where are you, Candace? Well, I'm here, and then I'm going to be home. Perfect time to set up when to hide in the fucking basement, then to kidnap your own kid from your wife so that she really doesn't know. I don't know. Anything in this world is possible, and if I can think it up, it's fucking possible. That's literally how I look at it. I try. I'm going to play this for a second and heat up my coffee for like 30 seconds. I will be right back, but listen.
Say volunteers, there's a caveat to that. They are law enforcement, EMTs, people in the criminal law business, all banding together for a new search. This, as we learn that glasses have been found, glasses found. That could be very significant. And joining me is someone who is acutely aware of all the facts surrounding that pair of glasses. Seth Rogers is with us. Seth is Sebastian's biological father. And you may have gone online.
Justin, if we could make anything from that world make sense, Summer would be found by now. But yeah, I can't. It is crazy. Don't judge us. How dare you, look at all of this and it could be a kidnapper. Don't, stop being mean to me and my husband. But Katie Proudfoot ain't acting right. Well, guess what, Katie? You've been compared to Katie Proudfoot a million times by now. So, take that for how you want it. All right? Andy, Becca.
And seeing Seth, at first you see nothing but densely forested woodland. And then you realize it's Seth Rogers out there on foot looking for his son. He hasn't quit. He took a brief respite over Easter break, and now he's back at it. Seth Rogers, Thank you for being with us. You can find him at Sebastian Strong. Seth, tell me about the discovery of the glasses.
My volunteers found them in Gallatin at around 210.
Can I just say something too? Again, my mods, my members, and people in this chat, just because it's coming out of my mouth doesn't mean they agree with it. But I am going to say that when people text me like Happy Easter, whatever, usually the text I get back, it's just another day, right? Because my kids aren't all together for these holidays, and I feel guilty like celebrating them unless I can have all my kids together. So yeah, I mean, we went to Christmas Eve with Mark's family for a few hours, but that's his tradition every year. That's when he gets all his family together, come from, you know, hours away, whatever. So that's his time and his tradition. But Easter, we didn't do shit for Easter. Like, no. So I don't know that I would be taking Easter off to celebrate with family when I have a child missing. It would just be another day and my child would still be missing. And if I am out there every day, I'm out there on Easter too. So that kind of like is weird to me. But again, that's just me. And I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. Again, I am questioning all three parents. I am a little concerned for Katie because it has been looking like a pissing match between these two men. And yeah, I see several different cases that kind of align in this case with it, you know, Summer Wells, Gabby Petito, Cotton Candy Boobs has shown me another, I can't remember the name, but yeah, and just fucked up. And then with like possible grandparents and other family members maybe being involved. You hear Chris's Proudfoot sister says she thinks that Sebastian was walking around, crawled into someone's car and fell asleep, and then someone that drove the car didn't notice a 15-year-old boy in their back seat sleeping and just drove to work, and then maybe Sebastian got out of the car when these people drove to work. Like, that's a weird scenario to think about. I don't know. Am I the only one that checks my back seats because I've watched way too many killer movies, slasher movies? Am I the only one that's checking the back seat before driving somewhere? Make sure there's not a killer in the back? Hi, Kim. Hi, Mulan. No, just me.
On
All
Monday.
right.
Seth, no offense, but you're speaking Greek to me. Okay. Where is that? Where is that in relation to Sebastian's home where he was living with his mother, Miss Proudfoot? What?
It's about 14 miles from his mom's residence. It's not in Hendersonville.
Now, Seth Rogers, you were telling me it's about 14 miles that Sebastian shared with his mother and his stepfather, the Proudfoots. Had he recently gotten...
Dina. Oh, it's not just me, right?
My name is Ron Marino. I'm the proud owner of a marketing agency called Developmart.
Under his neighbor's
We've been in
car.
business for
Whoa,
about 5 years
what?
now, and we've been
new glasses, or am I seeing, Seth Rogers, his actual glasses?
They were close enough that I asked the Sumner County to bag and tag them. I mean, when I saw them through the pictures
Wait,
from my
is he, though?
volunteers, and they stated they couldn't get a...
I don't understand that whole... If he was working with Chris and Katie, Chris should have at least stayed long enough to stand side by side with Seth and make that damn announcement. But Seth is now saying he can't even get a hold of Katie. She's not replying to emails from him or nothing. And he's also saying that he's waiting for Chris to approve scent dogs and all this shit to find his son. Why are we waiting for the stepfather to approve when you are the father? That's why I think that there is so much more we don't know about Seth. That, like, I don't get it. There's something, I don't know. I don't understand. So, I don't know. I guess fuck me, because I don't get it.
a hold of anybody. I flagged down a deputy sheriff and I told them to put on some gloves, put them in a bag, and bring them in. And that's what they did. They took pictures around the area to show where they were laying and how they were laying on the street, so they would have some type of recollection on where they were placed or left at, or however
I know it's
they
Selena.
needed, and they brought them into our volunteers
I wonder,
gather every
Kim.
morning, and chain of evidence was completed, and they took them in.
Guys, joining us is Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers. Seth, I want to circle back to what you said. These glasses were
Well,
found about 14 miles.
that means if they are really sus glasses and it's not garbage trucks, which, like, showing Mark and me looking at it, I don't know if I can get behind it being the garbage trucks. I don't know. And knowing that they're saying he took a flashlight. So there is a flashlight, but no shoes missing. We're seeing these lights that I don't know. We need someone to debunk that it is a whatever. So if it is not a garbage truck and those are his glasses, the law is helping lie, and I don't know why they would do that. Unless they are just trying to keep it, from the public, so they're trying to convince these people, so they try to convince us, the public. I don't know.
From where Sebastian resided with his mother and stepfather, a volunteer found them. Were you on
Well,
the
I don't know.
search
We don't know
when the
that. I
volunteer
mean, he
found
is
them?
sus. Good.
I was not with the group.
Not with that group. Where then?
Correct.
Were the glasses out?
No, he says I
in
wasn't with the group, not with that group. So where were you, though? I was not out with the group.
a forested area? Were they? I heard you mention
They were
a
on the-
street. Were they thrown by the side of the street?
I
They were on
think
the side
so.
of the road.
The Proudfoots do. Well, and Chris,
it
In a
paved?
residence.
Seth must too, because he is a correction. Now, I knew he was a correction officer for, I thought, a jail, but it sounds like he is for like 50 to 60 pod for maximum security inmates. Again, from what I'm hearing, well liked. And I don't know how well people understand how the system works, especially, favors being done, but like people do shit for guards and guards do shit for people on the inside all the fucking time, including, what case was that where the guard wanted his freaking wife dead because he had a mistress? What case was that? And he had one of his favorite inmates took care of it from the inside, but it all led back to both of them. Dad is or was correction officer. Did he piss someone off? Oh, interesting, Andy. I don't think he's been to work since the last 2 months of his son missing, but he was working up until the day his son went missing, which again, interesting. Piss someone off or owe someone money. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good point, Andy. Yeah, yeah. High outdoors.
So, okay,
High
you just
peaceful
clarified something for
peace and
me.
happiness.
It's in a residential area, like a cul-de-sac?
All through.
I don't believe it was a cul-de-sac, but I believe it's Hutch Court, so I believe it was leading into a cul-de-sac.
If you were in a car, how long would it take you
Leading
to get
into a cul-de-sac. Would there not be cameras there? Hold up. I want to rehear that. Sorry.
If you were in a car,
Okay, hold on.
how long would it take you to get from where Sebastian lived with his mom to where the glasses
Sis.
were found?
You can come up here if you want.
Depending on traffic, probably about 14, 15 minutes.
Guys, you're seeing an overview of Sebastian's neighborhood. Of course, we're talking about an area that has hills, some mountains. So
Cotton Candies is making me have just a little more sympathy for Katie, but that's because we got to see the men that are surrounding her. Like, yeah, I have always had a little concern for her, but, I don't have sympathy at all for Chris Proudfoot, but there is, again, people are all on top of Chris Proudfoot and how dare you, how dare you, how dare you, but they're ignoring everything that Seth Rogers has done, which is comparable to Chris Proudfoot, Unbelievable.
it's not always as simple as it sounds to go 14
Better not,
miles.
sis.
It could take 14 minutes. It could take an hour if you have to go over a hill to get there.
Right,
But long
April.
story short, he's telling us about 15 minutes from home. Do you believe Sebastian has ever walked through this area?
I have
Miss
no idea.
Christine.
I don't even know what's in the area.
I wonder if he had
What?
any friends there. But you believe these glasses are similar enough to the glasses we're seeing that you asked for them to be bagged. Were they cracked? Were they broken in any way?
No, ma'am. They had
That's
some
true.
scratch marks on the inside of the nose piece, and that was it. The lenses weren't scratched.
Hmm.
There was no scuff marks on the outside of them.
Guys, you are hearing Seth Rogers. This is Sebastian's bio dad speaking about a discovery this weekend.
Oh, should
a
I
discovery
missed that? Hold on, sorry. Welcome to the crazy train, Eddie. Choo choo! Thank you for becoming a member.
regarding Sebastian's glasses. Now, the reality is, it is a simple matter to determine if these are really his. Seth is telling us they look enough like them that they could very well be his, and they've
Nikki,
been
hi,
taken into
Sally.
evidence. To make sure,
I go back
what
and
we
forth.
do is take
Justin.
the lens out.
I do go back and forth because, again, to get Sebastian away from the house, but at the same time, if she's being forced to do something, she's gonna do it. I just don't know. I mean, that's the only way I can figure that Sebastian got out of the house, because he's not spotted on any cameras, but her car is. But I don't also know if there's ways to get into that house that wouldn't be picked up by anyone's cameras. Could someone have snuck in, go to bed, Katie, and Katie goes to bed, and then all of a sudden wakes up and Sebastian's gone? There, again, it's so much like Summer's case, in my opinion, in the lines of everything is on the table until we find out what the answers are. But I don't think that it's fair that everyone is bashing only Chris Proudfoot for what's being shown and said about him, when the exact same things are being said and can be said about Seth. And so I don't know. For me, we've got to be fair about it, and we got to be an equal asshole to everybody until we got the questions. But I can see, because I told Cotton Candy's like, Katie looks dead inside, but I forget she's military trained, and so you are trained to have, like, you don't have emotions, even with your family. Like, when you're being deployed and shit, you can't have those kind of emotions, because it gets in the way of your, the military, what you're supposed to be doing there. And so you're taught to turn all of that shit off like a switch. So, I mean, that does explain why she maybe looks dead to the world inside. Plus, look at the fucking men that she's gotten with, Yeah, for sure. Cleo Smith, that's the one you were telling me about that I haven't heard about. But yeah, everyone, I guess, went after the mom sis of Cleo Smith, because she was doing the rocking. She was mimicking a lot of Katie Proudfoot, from what I hear, in another case. But it turned out she's innocent, and I guess so was the father, because some creeper, is that the one, sis? Some creeper waited till they were damn sleeping and stole the kid from inside the tent. And hearing that, yeah, you're not gonna believe that, but yeah, we better believe it in this day and age. Fuck. I've been watching videos where it's broad daylight and tons of people walking on the street, and you still got these vans pulling up and trying to steal these kids, or motorcycles pulling up trying to grab these kids real quick. They're grabbing them right from parents holding their kids' hands walking on the street. They're still running and grabbing these kids up. So, yeah.
Compare it to his last diagnosis and his last lens prescription to find out, are these really Sebastian's glasses? And if so, why were they there? Also, we're going to be looking for prints. We're going to be looking for any DNA at all on these glasses. What, if anything, Can they tell us? Back to Lauren Conlon, guys. Right
YouTube's
now,
been crazy
as
lately,
we are
so
speaking, a new
don't
search
feel
is
bad.
underway for Sebastian. Lauren Conlon joining us from the Outlier. Lauren, any idea what?
Justin, were you just around there? Is there currently searches going on? Are we waiting for the Proudfoots to okay more searches, or what is happening with that? Is that what Seth is trying to get done? Gosh, I don't really know.
What sparked a new search?
I mean, I think people at this point, and obviously Seth Rogers included, are
That we know
so
of, Sally.
worried and so concerned,
Someone could have
especially
snuck
after
in that
hearing
house.
about the glasses. So I personally think this also has to do with the Cajun Navy last week saying, okay, we're going to step back, we're going to regroup, we're not going to stop. And so in turn, I think more people, more organizations stepped up to help.
Right.
And sorry, go ahead.
Thank you,
This is, I am
Luis.
So bottom
I am
line,
beyond-
we don't know. Maybe the glasses, maybe the fact the Cajun Navy is stepping back, but we know the search is happening right
Here
now,
we go
and we
with
know
the
where the
stupid
search
Cajun
is. It's an
Navy
area
lies.
that has already been searched, which I find very, very intriguing. Why are they
It's a-
researching a particular?
I don't think Nancy Grace knew a lot of the behind the scenes of what's going on, or, you know, in front of the scenes. I don't think she knew, because I don't even think she knew that Cajun Navy is on Nancy Grace totally just lying about JLR. And that guy for Cajun Navy didn't come on this at all for Sebastian. He came on here to tear down JLR and lie on JLR, my opinion. But we'll get there. Sorry, I just got to stop talking so much.
Particular area. Guys, in addition to Lauren Conlon and Seth
How bad is
Rogers
it if I
joining us is
speed
Dave
it up
Mack,
one?
crimeonline.com investigative reporter who has also been on the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from the very, very beginning. Dave
Too
Mack,
fast?
let me just say at the outset, recently, the stepfather,
Hold
Mr.
up.
Proudfoot,
Wait.
stated that
I saw her on the bikes, but I saw her on the bikes because Chris brought her there. I did not see a picture of her smiling. If people have that, they can send it to my email. I did not, and I was looking for that. I saw the pictures of them bike shopping. Now, I may have seen a little smile on Chris's face, I think, but I was specifically looking for that on Katie, and I didn't see. In fact, her face always looks like red and flushed, and no, I didn't see her smiling in the pictures. So if you have that, send it to my email. I hear voices 19@yahoo.com. I mean, fair is fair. I'm not saying she's innocent, but I am saying that what I'm seeing is a piss and match between two men that are both on the narcissist spectrum of sorts. And, she was a single mom with an autistic teenager. An autistic teenager that I guess was an issue for both men, because even after everything Sebastian's been through, Seth still never took custody, which has always been weird to me. They still remained in the Proudfoot. He still remained in the Proudfoot home. Seth has been banned from military base, and apparently for trying to get his son proper help, which I don't know. I thought it was weird that they wouldn't give Seth the name of the kid that assaulted Sebastian, but I think it's weird that we all know there was a kid that assaulted Sebastian. I don't know if anyone thought their teenage kid was coming home. That's not your story to put out there. You know what I'm saying? So already I was like, why are we saying this? Soon as I heard that drop on the live stream and everyone took that run with them, here we fucking go. I dislike that. This shouldn't be out there right now. Shouldn't even be a conversation right now. But it did make me feel like, all right, well, so Sebastian's not coming home. Or what parent does that to their teenager? Because all that's going to do is, to your teenager that already had trouble making friends and didn't have no friends, or for whatever reason, putting that all over the internet, when he does come home, no matter what home he moves to, is setting him up for further bullying. And further predators to know, oh, well, this happened to him. All right, well, my turn, if you catch my drift. So it was wrong. I can't get behind it. But again, I'm the asshole for questioning Seth Rogers, but it's fair, in my opinion.
He would take a polygraph if we set it up. As a matter of fact,
It does
take a
look
listen to
bad.
this. Have the two of
But
you
we don't know
taken
that
a
was
polygraph?
her decision. We don't know that.
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph. I
At
was
this
told
point, both
strictly
sides
by
have
law
money, but
enforcement
yeah,
because
you're
of
right.
my
We're finding out one
whereabouts.
side has a
I
whole
did not
lot
need
more
one.
money, right, than we thought.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
So she passed.
Okay, now listen to this. He says, I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph. I was told directly by law enforcement.
Katie passed. Seth is inconclusive, and Chris Proudfoot won't take one. And lied about taking one. Said he passed, but has not taken one. She's the only one that's passed a polygraph. So that kind of makes me look a little less. Okay, so let's look at the other two. These two men that are having straight pissing contests with each other at Sebastian's vigil need to be looked at a little more then. You know, Katie's on the back burner for me, and these two men are on the front burners. Currently.
Because of my whereabouts, I did not need one. Listen to more. And Mr. Proudfoot, you have volunteered to take a poly?
Yes,
You don't
ma'am.
believe none of them? And that's fair.
If I were to set up a poly for you, would you take it?
Name the place and time, ma'am. I'll be there.
Well, we did. We did that. We set up a polygrapher, a very well-respected polygrapher, a place and a time. Mr. Proudfoot tells us that he has been instructed by the TBI not to be on with us today and ask for help finding his son, his stepson, and not to take a polygraph. I never heard of that. I always loved it when witnesses, targets, or defendants, anybody would take a polygraph. If I want my own polygraph, I will get one as an assistant district attorney. So I find that very curious that he would be dissuaded from asking for the help from the public, as we see a volunteer search launching right now with law enforcement, and
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
not to take a polygraph.
He's a damn
now,
lie.
Very
Everybody shops on
curious.
Amazon.
Dave Mack didn't, Mr. Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian Rogers' stepfather, didn't he tell us he would take the polygraph anywhere?
Fair, Bonnie, but
anytime?
we don't
Isn't that true?
know. How do we know she was the last one with him? How do we know that? How do we know possibly someone didn't know a way around cameras and how to sneak into that house while Katie was sleeping? Again, Chris is telling her when to go to bed. Go to bed, Katie. It's bedtime, Katie. Go to bed now. And then she's up at 6 to wake up her son, and he's gone. She passed a polygraph. I mean, I'll say allegedly because that's just her word of mouth, and we haven't heard the law say that or anything. And the only thing I actually have heard from about 10 or 11 days ago now is that everyone is a suspect. So that is fair. Everyone is a suspect until they've been cleared. And I don't know that she has passed a poly, but she is saying she is. But I'm questioning, I mean, again, Chris Proudfoot has not taken one at all. I think Katie has taken one. But polygraphs, we do have to remember, are not admissible in court for a reason. Because I could sit here and take a poly with 3 different poly examiners and have 3 different outcomes. That's just how it works. Now, a lot of the system likes to have them for a tool to try and clear people, but if they're not admissible in court, I mean, can you really use a poly to clear someone? Because well, sis, it is fair because, again, we have the law saying, and I just played it, that nobody has been cleared. But again, we have to say allegedly. but it shouldn't be just Katie looked at. Again, I questioned, did someone go in that basement knowing Candace wasn't home yet and wait for Summer? You know what I mean? Did someone sneak in her house when she was sleeping? Did someone sneak in her damn house when she was out? I think that night prior to Sebastian disappearing, she took him out, was it Cosmic Bowling or something? Did anyone watch the routine? Could they have gotten in? She said the doors and windows weren't messed with, but who all has like codes to get into that or whatever? I don't know. Did his parents or whatever, Proudfoot parents, have a way to get in there? Like, I don't know. Again, everything and everybody's on the table, but I do think it's suspicious that look at what Chris Proudfoot does. Look what Chris Proudfoot does, but don't look at what Seth Rogers does. So there is not enough of that, which is what my focus is, because we do have to be fair. Like, what did Justin call me? An equal opportunity asshole employer, whatever. It's fair to look at everyone, because it's not fair we're in every other case throwing everything at everybody, but we're ignoring it for Seth Rogers. It's not right.
He said it. Anywhere you name the place, I'll be there.
So Chris and Katie have gotten all the hell in the world.
Or my lying ears
already.
That he has never taken a polygraph before. Didn't he tell us that?
That's what he said. He told you that.
Okay. Dave Mack, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Did he not tell another
Yes,
outlet
sis, but I also
he already
don't
taken a
like
polygraph
that
and passed it?
his couple co-workers come out now, and Chris did lie about when he was at work, when he left work and whatever that day. So, but that is also according to a co-worker who sounds like he never really liked Chris. So that goes back to thinking about Don and Dudley and Richard Tucker, all that fuckery, right? In these cases, you're going to have people that don't like you. And are they going to tell the truth on you? No, they see their shot now, which is crazy because you're trying to bury them. But just because you have beef with someone at your job, and now all of a sudden they're in this situation, and like, this is your time to now bury them. This is a pretty fucking serious accusation. So, you know, for me, if I worked with Katie Proudfoot and I had an issue with her at work, I don't think, let me get on the news now. Let me bury this bitch. Like, it's very different. Like, okay, you hate this chick because whatever she worked the crane wrong at work or whatever is a far cry from having her son kidnapped or whatever, you know? So yeah, everything. Yes, sis. Yeah, I heard them for myself. I have to find it because that was, I think, about maybe 2 weeks ago or less. I'll send you the link, but yes. But it seemed very, like, again, I kind of got vibes like maybe him and Chris just never clicked from the beginning anyway, but I don't know. And that's why, well, everyone, yes, I believe everything Nina's saying, and I feel for her, and her story was triggering because it mimicked a lot of mine, triggering than most stories I've heard, if I'm being honest. But again, people are coming for me because I'm kind of also putting that a little bit on the side burner, because when we start bringing the wives and ex-husbands and all of the drama of all that in this, like, Sebastian's just getting so lost, you know?
Yep, he sure did. Exact words.
Explain,
he said somebody
please.
asked. He did interviews. He did a number of interviews, Nancy. And in this one particular, asked about, have you taken a polygraph? He said, somebody asked the question. This is a direct quote. Was a polygraph taken and has it been passed? Yes. I didn't specify who or when, but what I can tell you, everything has been vetted completely. Polygraphs have come back as passed. So I'm confused as in why they're all wondering
keep saying
if myself,
that
my wife, and the biological father took one.
Everyone keeps saying that they locked Sebastian in the garage. I don't know where this is coming from. Or that they would lock him outside. Are they not going to look back at even past video then to see, was he being locked outside or anything? Like, I don't know. I don't know where that come from. I have not seen the proof of that. I don't know if anyone had said that, or if this is just like people are just making it up and saying it. For me, I don't know where that comes from. So that I just don't believe that. I don't know. I have trouble believing that. We can't just make shit up either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming on here and just making shit up. I'm going over and I'm showing you. And live we do tomorrow, I'm going to show you the court papers against Seth. Like, he has a court record for harming his son too. Like, what is going on that we're ignoring this, you know? And multiple times. And that's not me lying to you guys. This is me stating factual things that are true. Now, did he harm his son? I don't know. Did he take his son? Does he have it out hiding? Like, I don't know, but like, I mean, yeah, I do question, are the two men working together? Have they been working together? I mean, I don't know. And again, Katie's reading off a script someone wrote for her. So yeah, I kind of think she is being controlled a little, but you know, these two men are on front burner currently today. My mind and my ideas and thoughts and opinions might change tomorrow when I watch something else later. You know what I mean? If your mind doesn't change on these cases, then you just are not doing the proper work. So again, fuck me for my mind changing a million times. But again, everybody is still on the table according to the words from the law 9 or 10 days ago. Which means Seth Rogers, by the way.
Okay, but Seth Rogers, this is Sebastian's dad, his bio dad. Sebastian, Seth, I don't understand that because he told me he would take a polygraph if I set it up. I set it up. I went through a lot of hoops to get it set up. One convenient to him in the area where he says he's working.
How does she feel about her taking all of this time and effort setting it up for Seth just for him to show up not prepared, not ready, and falling asleep? I guess we don't know because she's been mom since.
Then he wouldn't take it and blames the TBI. So now I find out he's told other outlets he's taken one and passed. Do you know the truth?
I don't. I really don't know. But I'll tell you what, I volunteered to take polygraph. I was told that I wasn't. I didn't need to because they have my location and whereabouts. But I still volunteered. And if somebody wants me to take one, that's something of my own free will. I haven't been told by TBI that I can't take one.
But he did say that TBI, he went on T-Rev, wasn't it? And he said TBI was questioning why was he doing it. Like, pretty much, I got the feeling TBI was kind of telling Seth, like, why are you doing this? Don't do it, whatever. Which is why Chris Proudfoot backed out, because TBI was telling him the same thing. And he said, well, TBI will give me one, and then I'll do one with you. So, I mean, I don't know. But Seth Rogers didn't do no different. He showed up unprepared to do a poly, but he knew to look better than Chris Proudfoot. All he really had to do was show up. That's all he had to do, and he thought he looked 10 times better than Chris Proudfoot. And people do think he looks 10 times better than Chris Proudfoot. But fuck that. The minute I saw him come on after getting home and doing his poly, and he was wide enough awake to be all over chat and quick get on there and jump on it before he thought Nancy Grace would or something, and letting everyone know that he was just so tired and he kept falling asleep for the poly, but he was wide awake to be on YouTube shortly after that. That is fucking weird to me. I am not ignoring that. That, I remember I was at work and I texted Val and I was like, yep. Like, my heart just sunk to my stomach. That's fucking weird to me. Because, yeah, I was watching him and all of a sudden Seth, and everyone kept saying he fell asleep. And I'm thinking, well, how do they know? I was defending Seth. Till I found out I looked and it's him in the chat telling everyone he fell asleep. What the fuck? And you see just how little, like, he knows how to manipulate people on these streets. And it's so fucked up. And yeah, he is manipulating everybody. I don't give a shit what he was on. He should have been prepared if he cares so much to find his son for that poly. He was aware when it was going to be. He should have been prepared and done it. If you ask me, that shit was all staged. Because some of the times looking back, yeah, oh, he's falling asleep on people's live stream. Yeah, he was. But I'm not going to lie to you. Some of it actually looks staged to me. So was it his plan all along? I don't fucking know. Because I noticed after, yeah, I'm just gonna shut up. But yeah, but you know, he's been out searching and he's tired and he's on medication and stuff. So maybe he does fall asleep too. I'm shit. You saw me on my muscle relaxers fall asleep, right? So I mean, it happens. But again, would you not be goddamn prepared for the poly to find your son? So yeah, my opinion, he always knew it was going to be inconclusive. It was always his plan to just show up and fall asleep or whatever it was, or be on his meds or whatever. It was always his plan for it to be inconclusive, because that is not a fail. If we're being fucking fair here, it's not a fail. But again, it's manipulative to everybody on these streets, because again, it made him look better than Chris Proudfoot by just showing up. But fuck me. Hey, sis.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can't.
I'm on my phone, and I don't usually get on my phone, but I'm
Oh,
just
it's
gonna
so
come
hard
up.
to do it on your phone.
Yeah, I usually don't. What
You
was the
trying
last thing you said? Because I was coming up right in the middle of it, and I was trying to listen
Oh,
to what you said.
that I believe that it was always his plan to show up for that poly and have it be inconclusive. I think it was always his plan
Yeah,
to fall asleep at that
I
poly,
agree.
because
But you know
just
what? If it
showing up made him look better
if
than
that
Chris
if
Proudfoot not showing up.
the tables were turned and that was Chris, what would have happened to Chris on the internet?
We would have gave him hell. That's my yes.
People
He
would
would
have
have
done
got way more hell than he's getting.
way more
He
than
would
he's
have.
ever gotten in this case.
They would have said
But
Chris
it's
Proudfoot did
okay.
it. He
But
did it.
Seth gets a pass.
That's
Make that
why
make
I don't
sense.
understand. I don't understand these
Sis, you know,
people.
since day one, I said there's something about him. You
Yep.
know it, sis.
Yep.
Say
And
Cotton was right.
I remember
And
Cotton Candy Boobs was right.
sis, I swear I can read people, and it's crazy.
Well, you felt it first, and then I was like, nah, he's out there. He's doing everything I wish, what did I tell you? He's doing everything I wish that Don Wells did. And so it was, you know, I felt where
I said that too at first,
Yep.
but there was always, I was always saying, though, there's something about him. He's not telling
Mhm.
something, and I still believe that.
I still do too. And when he did that arrest pose, everyone came for me because I said I did not like that he did that. And it's not just that he did it, it was the question the reporter asked him when he put himself in that pose.
And you know, and there's certain of us in true crime. I'm not trying to sound cocky. Maybe I am, but we got an intuition, and we can read people that other people don't see, like the hands behind the head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
That's
like
an
I said,
arrest pose.
me and Tiffany Marie, I know people feel about it or whatever, you know, but I'll be civil and have a civil conversation, you know. But me and her talked today about it. She's got a little clip she put together after she's talked to me about it, comparing him and Chris Watts. It's just something some of us see in true
I already
crime.
done did that.
You got a video out on it?
It's on my
I mean, she
TikTok,
made
I
like a
think.
little clip video. I know we
Mhm.
done it on live and stuff because I
I
sent it
at
to her.
least made a damn picture on my community post of both of them because people were giving me out. I'm like, where is
I
the
didn't know
lie
that.
though?
But we were in a chat this morning, and you know, I don't follow Tiffany or nothing, and she said something about that, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, me and Sheriff said the exact same thing because she said something about Chris Watts. And I was like, oh my god,
Exactly the
and
feeling I got. And I was like, I'll let that slide because people were like, his shoulder, his shoulder. I'm like, okay, I'll let that slide.
but
But
look,
then
he
I was
wears
at
hoodies
work.
all the time. If you have a fucked up shoulder, you ain't wearing hoodies. That's gonna be the most horrible thing to try and wear every day with a fucked
Is
up
it?
shoulder. Taking it off and on. Come on, I ain't got a fucked up shoulder. I have trouble.
It's cotton candy boobs. Hi, Miss Fletcher. Hi, Chai, by the way. But yeah, I didn't like that.
Truly.
So I already was like, okay, whoa, like that hit me wrong. I think I saw him just fucking bite me. Yeah, so that hit me wrong. And then right away, I was at work. We were near closing, and I saw him in the chat saying he fell asleep for the poly and everything. How he was at the poly, but he's all over YouTube, wide awake, talking for at least like I want to say over an hour because I was listening to Dude I Feel for like over an hour, and stuff was all up in that chat. I don't know if he went on the panel, I can't remember, but he was in the chat for sure. So how are you wide enough awake to be all over YouTube letting us know?
And the
you
most
fell asleep?
important day of your son's disappearance, you fall asleep after people done judged the mom and stepdad because the stepdad wouldn't take one. Oh, fuck. You
Mhm.
fell asleep, dude.
Oh, we're
The
not.
most important day of your son's disappearance.
Do you? Do you? Okay.
And
That
Daisy,
does
that's
seem like
cool,
it'd
you
be
know, but
hard for to put on.
have you seen this dude walk up steps? He can barely walk up
Yeah, I
steps.
bet you're a little bit more
No.
petite
The
and everything
way
too.
the way he no. How'd he get that injury?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I
Peaceful
haven't
and
heard.
peace
That's a
and
good question.
happiness, right? So much like Chris Watts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, my aunt had
about
shoulder surgery and still can only wear button ups, Amy said.
Mm-hmm.
I know he
Yeah.
always has hoodies on. I know I wouldn't be wearing hoodies all the time. I mean, every now and then, yes, but a lot, no, not with
Yeah,
the
I
fucked up
see
shoulder.
him in hoodies and short sleeve, but I feel like it's been hoodies more than the short sleeve. Oh.
Child said the same thing. She couldn't wear hoodies.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Mr. Proudfoot hitting Sebastian with a belt. What happened?
Is she gonna have Seth on to talk about the results and be like, to Mr. Rogers, to Mr. Rogers, to Mr. Rogers? I
Hey,
will
Kim.
die.
That was actually several years ago, and it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot.
one-
To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Proudfoot, what happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking Katie. Sebastian had gotten in trouble. He got caught lying. And we asked, I asked him,
Oh,
I said,
yeah,
"Hey,
I
you
don't
know, you gotta have a
trust Chris.
punishment for
Sorry.
this." He says, yes, sir. And I said, okay. So
See,
I gave
Katie
him
could
a
be
swat with a belt
totally just
on his
nervous
buttocks on
sitting
the
beside
outside of
this
his
man
clothes,
right now.
one swat.
Okay. One swat on the rear end with a belt. Okay. Listen to
But
me.
it's okay that Seth hit his
Right.
son in the head.
That's why I'm doing
I
this. Hold
mean,
on. Let me slow this
Sebastian
down.
had gotten in trouble.
blows
Hold
my
on.
fucking
Got caught
mind,
lying.
man.
That's exactly
And
what
we
my
asked, I
They
title
all
asked
and
him,
suck.
I said, hey,
Okay,
Katie
listen.
was the
you know, you
best
gotta have
thing
a
for
punishment
Sebastian. I don't
for
give a
this.
fuck what anybody says.
He
Hold
says,
on,
yes,
listen.
sir.
She gave
And it
To
was
Mr.
I'm
Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Proudfoot, what happened?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking Katie. Sebastian had gotten in trouble. He got caught lying. And I had asked him, I said, hey, you know, you got to have a punishment for this. He says, yes, sir. And I said, okay. So I gave him a swat with a belt on his buttocks on the outside of his clothes. One swat.
Okay.
Like, personally, I don't believe that. I think it was much more, but whatever. Let's go on.
One swat
'Cause
on the
listen.
rear end with a belt. Okay. Listen to more. Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
Now, Chris does fuck up and says it was 3 years ago. Katie agrees with him it was 3 years ago, but in a different time he mentions it. He actually says that Sebastian was 15 at the time. So that was obviously not 3 years ago because Sebastian is 15 now. So there's that little incident. But my main point of coming up here is going to be pointing out the hypocrisy between the Chris Proudfoot and having Seth Rogers up here, and basically finger pointing and agreeing with Nancy, even though people are forgetting it's not just the CPS. There has been order of protections against Seth Rogers and Sebastian because Sebastian has been so damn afraid of Seth. It's like all there, people. And if that was Dawn Wells, oh my God, specifically for Summer Wells, there's an order of protection on Summer, and Dawn can't be, like, Summer is deathly afraid of Dawn Wells. Bet your asses that's being used all around these streets all 3 years and incriminating Dawn Wells. Okay, and that would be, I guess, I don't know, fair or not fair anymore. I don't really know anymore at this point. I don't know. But
who spanks a 15-year-old, Amy? You'd be surprised. A lot of people grew up different than a lot of people did in this world, and some people are still old-fashioned, and some
Who
kids still get
slaps-
their ass busted, you know?
who slaps their 15-year-old autistic son bitching that autistic kids shouldn't be spanked, but who slaps their autistic son upside the head multiple times and also throws him down
Seth Rogers.
body tosses him down to the fucking ground.
And that one's in the divorce papers.
Yes. And
Oh,
we're
his head
just
fell in my
ignoring
hand.
all
Shut the
that.
fuck.
We're going to
Right.
ignore that.
This is
because
all documented.
let's be fair again. If
At
that's
least Chris
Dawn
was
Wells
honest.
doing that to Summer. Yep.
At least
if
Chris
that's-
was honest.
If Dawn's doing that to Summer and there's reports of it, we are using that shit against Dawn Wells. Or anyone.
Exactly,
Candace,
Sammy.
Grandis.
Definitely a lot of double standards going on.
Oh,
Do what
Justin,
I say, not
really
as I
hope.
do.
I really hope. And that's exactly it. Double standards.
Yeah.
And Nancy has no clue. I'm not blaming Nancy. I love Nancy. But you can tell she really does not have no clue on everything in this case yet. And I think that after Polly and Seth, she found a whole lot more out. Which is why she's shut the fuck up right now. But I am so eager to hear from her.
She might have got gag ordered.
She could. I think that might be part of it.
I
which
wish
is
they would do it to
interesting.
Seth.
Why would they get gag order over Seth Polly? You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
weird. Because again, she was covering this case. Did the Polly with Seth?
I
Silent.
think she's embarrassed because Seth didn't pass it.
She might be like, oh shit, did I just give hell to the Proudfoots and be too easy on Seth? Like, yeah, we don't know what's going on, but let me tell you, I can't wait to fucking hear from Nancy Grace on the situation. And if we don't hear from Nancy,
Okay,
you
I want to
guys-
correct something here.
that
Angel,
should be very telling as well.
Angel, about him being asked to put into trash cans is not true. I heard that from Katie herself.
Well, why did they
that's
search
a
the
rumor.
landfill first then?
No, at school. People were going around
Oh.
saying that Sebastian was asking kids at school to put him in the trash cans. That is completely
That's
false.
fucking weird. Yeah, I don't believe that. Again, where do people come up with these things? Did a student come out and say, like, he asked me to do that? I don't know.
Well, it came from Katie directly that it's a rumor. And Amy, you said a 15-year-old getting whooped. I got my ass beat at 16 years old when I wrecked my car. My mama beat my fucking ass. That's what's wrong with this world today. Now you discipline a child, by spanking them correctly. You know what I mean? And people want to get CPS involved in shit. Like, what the fuck? This new generation, so sensitive.
So sensitive.
Yeah, Vaughn, if it's relevant again, then kick rocks. That's all I know. Quit saying it. Hi, Wonder Hearts. Squirrely girl.
Years ago, ma'am.
Any idea how many? 3, 10, 1?
I mean, that's true till the law says it.
But
Same
Seth
with the
was
Wells
the one that
case.
said he fell asleep. I mean, I don't think he would lie like that to make
Oh,
himself
no.
look that bad.
No. That's why for Katie, we don't know if she passed. Okay, but right now she's the only
We
one
didn't
that's
know
taken
Seth
one.
didn't.
But I do believe Seth did not. I believe he went there with intentions of making it inconclusive. Because
he would have said that to incriminate himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't just listen to what people were saying. I saw with my own eyes. It was
People
Seth
think
in
we're
there
stupid,
saying that.
sis.
I saw Seth saying himself that he fell asleep multiple times. And yes. So
after he was
that's-
sitting there, why won't Chris take one? Why won't Chris take one?
Yes,
and you
that
fall
is
asleep.
That's
Really?
not a pass, you guys. That's called inconclusive. And inconclusive is not a pass or a fail.
Hey, Be the Bean.
But again,
Trash can rumor came from the preacher guy.
the preacher guy. There's a preacher guy. Who is the preacher guy? I gotta see. I don't even. Why do I get involved in these?
See, Nikki got
Services
beat
complaint.
as a kid, and look at her. She's amazing.
I
You
mean,
hit him with a bat.
same. And CPS didn't help me.
Right. Man, my mama would whoop me, Cher, and hand me the phone and tell me to call the cops. Because I would say, I'm going to call the cops. Well, she started handing me the phone before I could say it.
Our time is different, though, right? The 80s and shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so,
And I
so
thank
different.
God that we got to experience that
If
time
I
in
was-
life, sis.
No, I don't wish I had my time, but listen, if I had just gotten
I'm
paddled on the
sorry.
butt.
I'm sorry.
Well, if I got
But
paddled on the
you
butt,
still
that
have
wouldn't be
those
nothing.
morals, though, back then.
Yeah.
You still have that touch. You do.
I
You didn't let her take that from you.
a paddle on the butt is different than abuse. You know what I mean? I wouldn't consider myself abused if it was just, even if I got the
Amy,
belt
he's
on the
not
butt
in law
sometimes.
enforcement. Seth is not in law enforcement.
He is a correctional facility officer for a pod of 50 to 60 people that are maximum security inmates. That is
And
not
in
a
other
sheriff.
words, he's a mall cop, glorified mall cop.
Glorified mall cop.
Because you go to the mall and there's probably 60
He's
inmates in
Paul
there.
Blart. He's Paul Blart.
Yes. Seth Fart.
That did not turn into a CPS service
See,
call.
Kim was 16.
But didn't it? I've got a lot of things I need to dissect very quickly. Dave Mack, you and I have been scouring the internet.
You can bounce thoughts around, but we have to
Truly.
be equally as fair, though.
Mr. Proudfoot.
Like, I'm saying, yeah, Katie is suspect till she's cleared. She's on back burner. Chris Proudfoot is suspect. His stepdad and mom and family, suspect.
Angel.
Seth Rogers, suspect. Seth's family, suspect. You know what I'm saying? So, I
Angel.
mean... And I don't even know, like, would school teachers try and save this boy? Like, I don't know. Everybody is a suspect. So we can't just... I'm tired of seeing... I do not like Chris Proudfoot one bit, but I'm tired of seeing only him and her
Yes.
get this hell. Because it's not being fair. Because
And I'm going to
Seth
say...
is on the same radar as these people.
I apologize to Chris and Katie because I have been very nasty. I took a step back.
That's not
My
happening for
emotions
me.
were getting the best of me. I took a step back. I watched all the interviews and everything one day. And when I got to Katie, my mama heart, I broke down. I felt, and I don't know, and
Maybe one
it's not
day
right
I will
though, you know.
apologize to
If they're
her,
guilty,
but
you
it
know,
won't be
that's
Chris.
at least I had my heart
Well, that's
in
your
for the
heart.
right
It's
reasons. You
bigger
know what I
than
mean?
mine.
And
If that's how your heart's happy, sis, that's all you can do. You can only do for your
right,
own
and
heart. And that's how what I'm doing
Katie and
too.
Chris was listening to that live, and they accepted my
Of course they
apology. And well, I'm not going to get into that, but
Chris Proudfoot will
yeah.
never get apologies from me.
I
Katie-
apologize to Chris too, and I mean
Katie
it.
might.
He might be what he is, and I'm not going to speak on it. I might not
The
like
nice
him,
he
but
gets from me is I'm willing to say he shouldn't be the only one that's front burner. You know what I mean? That's fair. That's fairness he gets from me. But again, we all are different humans, sis. And our hearts all feel different ways. And who knows
Yep.
if your heart will feel like this next month. You know what I mean?
Well, look,
or mine.
like I always say, I took up for Don fucking Wells for 2 years.
Yeah. There's even times that everything he put me through, you were like, are we being a little hard on him, sis? Like, and
Yeah, and
that's true.
and I still don't think he's guilty of Summer's disappearance. He knows something, but he's not guilty of that actual thing.
There's
He's a
only
piece of shit, but you know,
one ever situation makes me
guilty
question
knowledge.
Don. Well, it's no. There's one situation that happened privately with me, Don, and Candace that made me think that Candace was innocent, and it still runs rent free in my head almost daily. But it's the only thing, because all of the other things I still do. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows I question Candace
I went back
way
to my
more
first
than Don.
theory on it.
Yeah,
I went back to my first theory that sitting at the end of the driveway, I think Candace got messed up after they got back from the horse pond. Her and Grandis passed out. They was probably tired, you know, being out in the sun all day. Then they was getting them pills, passed out. Summer wandered off at the end of the driveway, wrong place, wrong time.
But that's not true, because Candace was hanging out with Fred at Fred's house before Dawn. Yeah, before even Dawn went there that night.
Or maybe she was over at Fred's and Summer wandered off.
She was at Fred's.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think. Because that fucking Hawkins County is saturated with those ROs and shit, you know? I think it was a freak accident like deal.
They call them deputy sheriffs. Oh, not a corrections officer? Well, that's fucking false advertising, because he is not a deputy
I just don't
sheriff.
believe that. I've never seen them called deputy sheriffs. That just, no, they
I
wouldn't
feel like I
allow
heard
them
him
that
call
title.
himself that. Yeah.
That'd be like a deputy sheriff saying he was a state trooper assistant or
Yeah,
something. You know,
that's weird.
I don't
Yeah.
see that. I believe that, no.
I mean, you know, this is the channel that just calls people an ass. I will fucking call that jail an ass. What the hell
Oh
are
my
y'all
God,
called?
Sunshine, you thought Jacqueline and Trezell were innocent? What? Are you sure? You and your
No. Isn't that
friends?
the West case?
Yes, the
See,
West
that
boys.
says
No.
that he hit Sebastian with a belt. This is an autistic boy. An autistic
I think
boy.
she needs
Do
help
they-
because she's been
Let's
through a
not
lot of
bash
trauma
mental health.
and abuse.
level
Let's not bash
severity
mental health.
of autism.
But
And
look at the
I've got an
people that's been
expert,
around her.
Courtney
You know,
Lasky, who's gonna
anyone would
explain
need
this
help
to
being
me.
in her
After
position.
this,
to be
I would want to
honest.
go to a mental ward.
Yeah, that'd be
How
a
would that
vacation.
affect a
Help me,
child with
please.
autism? But that said,
Exactly,
I wanna
being it's a
focus on
CO.
what
These
I'm
people are.
hearing, Dave Mack.
But
They got their own
Yvonne,
mind.
Yvonne, now you're saying this, but Yvonne, how are you not seeing this with Seth Rogers? That is my whole point today as well. As well as been ever since I've covered this case has been my point. Basically, I'm like, hello, wake the fuck up to Seth, people. Fine, feel your thoughts and feelings about Chris. I mean, at this point,
Seth is the one that got kicked off a military base for anger issues. Seth is the one that's got very many angry issue incidences in his life. With his child, with his ex-wife, with
if
all
Seth
of it.
truly wanted Sebastian living with him full time, why didn't he already, after the 2 sex offending issues, why didn't he already have his son living with him full time? If Katie is such a bad mother,
Right.
Why?
Because he bashed Katie
Ask
because it happened
yourselves.
under Katie's watch, but
What about
you didn't
his
try
watch?
to get him.
What about Seth's watch? And I'm sorry, but that's one thing I do defend Katie in. Chris could have had these people over. We don't know what control really Katie has, and in my opinion, you know, I'm on the fence with Katie, but it still is my opinion. It's pretty clear. I think
Seth
she's
was
been
at work all
controlled.
night. Amy, where can I find that video footage? Because there's cameras in there. You know, I need to see all that video footage, please. Where can I find that?
Yeah, just because
Amy.
I don't know who's saying that.
Chris
but yeah,
is
I'm
at
hearing it's
work.
on video footage.
Chris is at work, and Seth's PI today verified that.
Seth's PI verified Chris was at work?
Yep.
Verified it how?
On her Facebook page. Go look at it.
No, but verified it how?
I don't know, but you know,
it's
I'm
not
just saying.
going by phone records, because that's bullshit.
But it was Seth's PI that done it. That put that out there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to clip. Angel, where'd that go? Fuck. Where'd that comment go? Do you see where Seth is a narcissist?
Right,
too?
Sally. I'm not going to speak on none of that. I made apologies, and I'm a woman of my word. And
where'd that go? Right here. That's fair. And I.
Yeah, I will speak on him though, because I don't like that fuck. Yeah, he is a covert narcissist for sure, and I called that a while
You've
back.
said that, yep. You've said that.
I'm hearing that it happened years ago. In both of those quotes where you heard Chris Proudfoot speaking, he said several years ago. Then he says, when I press him on that, he says at least 3 years ago. However,
who's yelling? What?
He stated a different scenario to a different person. Explain, Dave
I'm
Mack.
going to put you on timeout now just because.
He did a YouTube interview, and in that interview, he described the actual belt whack. And
hey, Nancy,
you know,
where's
in your
Seth?
interview, he said that
Holly?
the belt whack did not lead
I know,
to a
I want it
CPS
so
call.
bad.
However,
No,
in his other interview,
no, stop. I asked you about the age of
fucking love
Sebastian.
her.
Katie's looking, or Katie.
The belt.
Nancy's looking
One
weak
thing
right
at a
now,
time,
not
brother.
saying nothing else about this case.
age
This
of
ain't the
Sebastian,
Nancy
he
we
said it was
know.
3 years ago.
No, right? And that's why that should be very telling to people. This is not the Nancy. She got those results immediately.
Because she went so hard
She
for
did.
Seth and at Katie and them, and
That's why we should
he
all
falls
be
asleep. I
questioning
think it's
this.
funny.
Has she been gagged on the case though? And if she's been gagged on the case after Seth takes a poly, what does that tell you guys? Nothing good to me about
ASRD.
Seth.
Go.
Because if he passed,
he
she'd be
said
all
in
over it.
another interview
And Chris failed,
that
she'd be all
15-year-old
over
boy
it.
was upset.
And the law
was in
wouldn't
trouble.
gag her if he passed
He
it. They
said,
could put that shit out there.
15 and in trouble. He was describing why
In my opinion. I
Sebastian
think.
Demon
I don't know.
Dog, that's not true.
about the punishment, the whack. And he said, 15-year-old boy.
They do,
Yes.
Sally. They do.
Punishment. Now that's not 3 years ago. That's
But
within
we
the
all
last
got a little
12 months.
narcissism
That
in us.
is within the same year that Sebastian goes
yeah,
missing.
yeah, that's true.
That
Also,
is a
might add,
significant point.
And in
Hi,
your interview,
SRB.
Katie agreed with him. She was saying
She's a
that it was 3
sweetie.
years.
She's my newest mod. I love
Yes,
her.
she did. You're right.
Birthday was
You're absolutely
December
right.
Did you know
December
that the best
7th. He
way
said his
to make
birthday.
extra
I thought that's
income
what it
on
was.
Amazon is not by setting up an
Thank you, Satan B, for the super
What's
sticker.
that?
his birthday.
Thank
December
you.
7th.
December
just turned
7th.
15.
Very sweet of you.
See, I was right. Somebody tried to tell me it's
Okay, the
September.
significance of that is that he had not been 15 that long, according to this, when he got
Me
whacked with a
too.
belt.
Me too.
So, does it matter
Me too,
when
Miss
he got
Fletcher,
whacked
I
with a
do.
belt? To me, it matters if you're telling two different stories. That's what matters.
Hey, sis, I'm
I've
going to
never
jump
been
down
hit
and get on
or
my
hit anyone.
laptop.
Okay.
I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Now listen, the other thing, what was I just thinking? I was just thinking something about Chris Proudfoot, damn it. Okay, it lost my mind because I was thinking about retopping my coffee, so just like give me a minute, it'll come to me. Hold on.
One with a belt. And I
So
remember.
here we go. She's got him up. Here's Seth Rogers right here, Sebastian's father, sitting right here by Nancy as she is snapping off about Chris Proudfoot and the belt situation. And this is wild to me because clearly Nancy has no clue what Seth's record is with Sebastian. There ain't no fucking way. Wait, are you back, sis? Or was this your old one? I'm confused.
No, I'm just leaving this playing so I can hear, but I'm
Oh,
staying in backstage until I get on there so I can hear what you're saying.
okay, so remove you again or?
Leave me in backstage, yeah.
Okay. You guys give me please like 45 seconds, if you will, to get more coffee.
Hey, y'all, I'll come back up here for a minute and talk to y'all till she gets back since I'm switching over to my laptop. Yo, Yvonne, you do. And I'm sorry if I'm coming off a little harsh. I'm not meaning to. I'm trying to be a better person. But I just wish people would look at all of them equally. You know what I mean? You know, kids just don't vanish like that.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. I'm back.
I came back up to keep them entertained. Wait till you get
Oh,
back.
thank
So
you.
I'm okay. Put me backstage again.
Okay. Right? She sounds so cute. Okay.
The last time either one of my children were spanked, it was Lucy because she clobbered John David in the head.
Yeah, I don't like that Chris doesn't remember why Seth got those whoopings. So, because, you know, remembering back, I can remember when my kids got a hand on the butt. Not bare butt ever, but, you know, and maybe like 3 to 5 times in their lives. And I always felt guilty and would talk to my therapist. Like, I didn't know how to discipline my kids. So it went from I didn't feel comfortable doing the spanks, and because it made me feel bad when I seen them cry because I just spanked them, gave me, like, it made me feel, was I being abusive like my mom? And I didn't want to be like that. So it ended up, you know, I just didn't, my kids really weren't disciplined, but they still grew up to be very sweet and use their manners all of the time. I've had many, many, many compliments about my children's behavior and stuff. So, yeah, for me, it wasn't something I could do, but at the same time, there are some kids that need a little paddle on the butt once in a while. Not maybe with a belt, but like just like a what I would guess call like a little love tap, like hey. But yeah, for me it wasn't something I felt comfortable with because it just ended up making me cry while they were crying and hugging them and apologizing over and over. So like I don't know. But and then I would have to think and add on autistic children, do they even understand why they're getting a spanking? Like, I don't know. So I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things, but just don't think it'd be best. But anyway, I remember why they got their paddles even after all these years. So it does bother me Chris doesn't remember why he whipped him with a belt. I feel like you should remember that. Like, what was the reasoning for it? Because if it's to teach him a lesson, well, what lesson was it? You know what I mean? And it's usually a lesson, I think, it should be for the parent that's doing the punishment and the child getting the punishment. Is supposed to be a lesson somehow. And if you don't know what it was all about, then what lesson are either one of them? If Chris doesn't even remember what it was about, then I don't even think Sebastian would remember then why he got spanked. Just like I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a little bit of an issue for me.
With a piece of wood.
But that goes back to
She turned around and looked
Seth slapping him around too and slamming him down to the ground and shit.
to me and went, is that it, basically? Because I was spanking her through.
Pause it, sis.
Okay, it didn't
Yep.
work, so that was the last
I can hear you.
Long story short.
I can hear you. Are you back?
They're talking about the diaper. You know, have they talked about him wearing diapers or whatever? I don't know, but I just thought of something. Did you know the kid couldn't help it? I shouldn't say the kid because people's going to come at me. People say some are the little
That's
girl.
your culture though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
a
how
Southern
that's
thing.
how I grew up. Like
Yeah.
growing up, we called our elders Mr. and Miss. We didn't, and or ma'am and sir. But
Yeah.
anyways, or the kid,
Yeah. So she's not trying to not say Sebastian. It's just her Southern
I'm very
culture.
passionate and emotional about this case for some reason, and but anyways, he couldn't help it. He had to wear pull-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids just can't help it, And he would go to Seth's house, and Seth would yell at him for wearing one, saying real men don't wear diapers. That's why he didn't wear it at Seth's house.
Who said that? That's what.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I know Seth said he would tell him get in the shower and get out of his diaper and put underwear on. But
Yeah,
I
he
never
would yell.
heard it was
Can you
like that.
imagine? He's probably like a drill sergeant being a glorified mall cop,
Did that come from Katie?
Can't
Or like
remember
where'd that
where it
come
came
from?
Shit, I don't know, sis. I'm stoned right now. But that's the truth. And a couple of days ago, when at the visual pictures all come out of Chris and Sethy Poo, JS for Justice got an up close of Chris's ass, making fun of him, saying he was wearing a diaper. And she posted it.
Of Chris
That pissed me
Proudfoot?
so. Yeah, JS for Justice was making fun of him and shit and saying he was wearing a diaper and stuff. Knowing Sebastian had to wear diapers, and how could she done that?
Oh, that's probably
bet-
her just trying to like put like because
And
he
I
was
called her out
shaming
on it. I
Seth.
commented. She said, "You ain't been here and whatever." And
She probably meant
now
that
you're
she
here.
was-
I said, "I didn't know we had problems."
Right.
Fuck out of here. I see something wrong. I'm gonna call it out. And that was very fucking
But she was
disgusting of
probably
Jay.
trying to shame Chris though for shaming
She was,
Sebastian.
yes. She said, "Well, that motherfucker
that.
made him wear diapers
Yeah, I get that.
because he couldn't help it. He had to."
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I can see it both ways, but I get that she's just trying to fucking put it back
No, but
on
that
Chris
there
for
was
doing
wrong of her to do that, knowing that Sebastian wears diapers or had to, That was just, Yeah, it came from Seth himself. Yeah.
Seth himself said what?
Patty, who said what?
I know I heard Seth say that he told
Yeah.
Sebastian to shower and change,
Yeah.
but I never heard him ever say that he was like being actually mean and a drill sergeant about it. That's not what I heard.
Of course he ain't gonna tell that. But he's got a temper, so if I could see him, you're real men don't wear diapers. Come on. And Chris or Seth wouldn't let him wear them. Okay, and another thing, he would get Sebastian, okay, and he works night shift, Seth does.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah,
he would leave Sebastian home at least 12 hours alone at night while he worked. Okay, what about, why didn't Seth have cameras inside of his house to watch his son all night? Where's your cameras, Seth? Everybody wants to go on about Katie's cameras, but let's talk about Seth. Because trust me, if my autistic child, which would never fucking happen, had to stay home all night while I worked by themselves, I'd have cameras at every angle, inside, outside of my house, watching my child.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Were Seth's cameras.
And if that was Katie Proudfoot leaving
they would
him
crucify
home alone
her
for 12 hours,
you left him home all night, you horrible mother.
Yep. Or if that was Chris Proudfoot, if that was anyone else, there would be a big issue. But knowing it's Seth, somehow it's okay. And that is so fucked up to me. She got mad, Katie. Why would that make him mad? Seth said he didn't need diapers at his house. Yeah, I heard. Yep. And Seth said Chris got mad. Oh, Chris got mad. Katie was. See, that's again why I think, Katie is a little on the back burners for me, because it seems like we got these two men in some kind of pissing war that's been going on. And
it's obvious this child had something wrong with him that he could not control, his bladder.
Both of these men, which is trauma, which can be any kind of trauma.
And that could be nobody's fault.
But now that we know,
trauma, just having autism, that chromosome deletion, being bullied at school, or
any kind of trauma will make you. Yes, you guys. That is
true.
And
another thing, Smiley's new words are the short bus and all that. Talking about them buses. Sebastian rode a special education bus in the morning.
Why is she talking like that in this case?
Because she's raggedy. She got so worked up.
Damn
she lost one of her eyebrows.
Oh my gosh, I saw that, and that is fucking
I seen somebody talking about it in a chat, so you know me, I went snooping because I don't watch her really.
Why I don't fucking paint my eyebrows on people.
But I'd never seen her eyebrows like that either. But in the show, she only had half an eyebrow.
She had 1.5 eyebrow. She's a gangster now. Jeez.
She gonna get hurt.
So again,
she don't quit fucking with these cases.
There's a whole scenario that I need to talk with Miss Lasky about.
Chris is sitting up here,
autistic with the belt,
not even
child with the belt, for Pete's sake. But that said,
I think he looks a little nervous. Like, should I even be up here?
Truth to light, he wore them his whole life before SA.
She ate her brows off.
Concerning me now is
probably licked them off thinking about old Dougie.
It's Dave Mack. First said we've got a CPS issue, because if you will recall, Dave Mack.
Here we go. How the hell is Seth not like, I got multiple CPS issues myself?
Justin,
there's a whole scenario that I need to talk with.
You're beautiful, honey. You are on point.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Partial paint, partial eyebrow.
You better be glad you're not into women, Justin. And just imagine, I used to not stand him. I always respected him, though, kind of.
Justin Sandwich.
But now, that's my buddy there.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting a child.
You fuck with Justin, you're fucking with all of us.
Okay, hold on.
With the belt or any child.
What if the child can't help it no matter what you do? What if they were potty trained and it's just something, some kids can't help it? Just like old people, they have to wear their pants because they can't help it.
We're going to get these streets talking today, Justin. Sis, you see that?
Who says he's not what? Oh, okay. Well,
you got our numbers now.
he's got me speechless, and I'm never speechless. Hey, Justin, will you wear that leopard print shirt you got?
Justin, wear that thing that she likes.
Child with the belt, for Pete's sake. But that
Justin
said,
is good
what's
looking. He's
concerning me
beautiful.
now is
Wait,
two
she's
different
talking
stories.
about
And
Chris with the belt, and Seth gets fucking nervous. Like, should I even be up here? Look at it.
Piece
Look
of
at
wood.
it. Watch.
She turned around and looked at me and went, "Is that it?" Basically, because I was spanking her.
Oh,
throat
hi,
with a
Lisa.
huge diaper. Okay, it didn't work, so that was the last smack. Long story short, there's a whole scenario that I need to talk
Listen
with
to Nancy,
Ms.
but
Lasky
watch
about,
Seth right now.
hitting a child that is autistic with the belt, or any child with the belt, for Pete's sake.
Hitting a
that
child
said,
that's
what's
autistic, and
concerning me
Seth
now
gets
is two
nervous.
different stories. And
Well, at
as
that
Dave
time, they didn't
Mack
know he was autistic.
first said, we've got a CPS issue, because if you will recall, Dave Mack, and that last sound I played,
Lisa, a fun
to
one.
me,
All right, it's fun.
I
We're all
said,
over the
how did
place
that
over
turn
here.
into a CPS, Child Protective Services complaint? And he says that did not turn into a CPS complaint. But wait a minute, he's told a different story to a different person. Tell me, Dave Mack, and make sure you're right.
Describing the belt whack, the specific belt whack, hit him one time with the belt, and Chris Proudfoot said, Seth, that Sebastian went to school, told a teacher what had happened, and he actually says the school, they're an automatic reporter, and they reported it to CPS.
Me too,
Justin. Just in November, he was diagnosed.
That night,
and turned
when
15
they were
in
sitting down
December.
to dinner, a CPS worker
Yes,
came
not
to their
even a
house.
full year.
That
We hear this?
to their house.
We
3
got
months.
CPS now on both households. CPS
was
at
3
the
months.
Proudfoots and CPS at Seth Rogers. So both of these men, okay, because they weren't showing up for Katie abusing. Katie was called in both instances to, like, to be warned, like, what was going on. So now you got the school calling CPS on Chris Proudfoot, the school calling CPS on Seth Rogers. So both of these men have both multiple times put their hands on this boy. Katie does not have those allegations, if we're being fair. Okay? So Katie's back burner again so far for me. Let's continue.
What had happened, and he actually says the school, they're an automatic reporter.
You didn't hear
and
it? I'll go back,
they
Little
reported
Smokey.
it
Let me
to
go back quick.
CPS.
Hold on. To help her.
Different story to a different person.
We'll go right here.
This complaint, and he says that did not turn into a CPS complaint. But wait a minute, he's told a different story to a different person. Tell me, Dave Mack, and make sure you're right.
Describing the belt whack, the specific belt whack, hit him one time with
And
the belt.
really quick, I was questioning why they wouldn't give Seth, who's the parent of Sebastian, the name of who abused his child. Well, now I know why. It's because the school thinks that Seth Rogers is unsafe around children because they've had to call CPS on him for harming Sebastian. That's why they wouldn't give him the name of another minor that goes to classes with Sebastian on what happened. Okay, so again, Chris Proudfoot has a history of putting his hands on Sebastian, but so does Seth. And Seth has a longer record than what we're hearing of Chris of putting hands. Now, again, I think Chris definitely spanked him more than the one time, whatever. But Seth also has a lengthy record of not just slapping him, but body slamming him to the floor. And Nancy Grace, no way in hell she knows that about Seth Rogers right now. I'm sorry. There's no way I believe she knows that. which might be why she's part quiet right now, because she's fucking learning about who the man is she had up right beside her as talking shit about Chris Proudfoot. And oops-a-daisy, I kind of look stupid because the man up here beside me that I'm having talked shit about Chris Proudfoot is in the same boat as Chris Proudfoot.
And Chris Proudfoot said, Seth, that Sebastian went to school, told a teacher what had happened, and he actually says the school, they're an automatic reporter, and they reported it to CPS. He went further to say that night, when they were sitting down to dinner,
his head injury
a
too, and
CPS
slapping him over
worker
his
came
head.
to their house that evening, to their house. And by the way, he added they knew the CPS worker because
Yes.
she had been to the house before.
That's right.
Can you pause that a second, sis?
He went on to explain.
I just looked up his chromosome deletion because people were talking about it in chat. Right here it says the terminal chromosome 6q27 deletion is a rare genome. I can't pronounce these fancy words. Something condition that can result in intellectual disability, facial dysmorphia, and organ dysfunctions. And that was the chromosome deletion he had. Organ dysfunctions.
And yes, sorry, can I see who said that? Truce to light, you are correct. And I heard him say that himself. So you are correct that I heard that from Seth's mouth.
Yeah, you had a
Yes, he
handle
did.
man because he's dangerous.
Hi, beautiful
Bladder,
disaster.
exactly, Angel. That's part of his organs.
I think so, Selena. Yeah, I think.
He couldn't help it.
Mandatory reporter. Why can I not read sometimes? I think I have dyslexia.
Right, anonymous. So he couldn't help it that he had to wear diapers.
Didn't get in trouble.
It breaks my fucking heart. Seth done that to him.
Because he
And he
had
couldn't help it.
that fluid thing on his head, like you said, right? That.
Yeah, he has fluid on his brain. He has autism. He has ADHD, and he has 6q27 chromosome deletion. Bladder, bowels. Yep, he couldn't help it.
Kathy Bates.
And everybody has judged Chris and Katie because he wore diapers at their house. He couldn't help it, y'all. Do you know how bad he must have felt to be at his dad's?
Right.
And he couldn't help it.
We're gonna.
Sorry, I just looked that up and it just. Mommy Dearest. Who's Mommy Dearest?
We're gonna get through like another 15-20 minutes of this, you guys, and then I'm gonna have to get ready and go to work. But I'm gonna do a members live at work tonight. So
Are you ending yet? Every time
Not
I
yet.
get into it, you do this to me.
Not yet. I'm like a little while longer.
Kathy, yes,
It'll just take me like 5 minutes to walk there.
I'm heartbroken over this.
Accidents? Yeah, I mean, if
Imagine
he's-
what we don't know.
if
He's hiding something.
slapping Sebastian in school, and it's bad enough that the school's calling CPS on it. Like, it's not just like a get your shit together, kid, whatever. You know what I mean?
Kathy, we don't announce where she works. We don't announce where
No.
anyone works. That's personal information. But thank you.
Yeah. But
Right, anonymous. It's heartbreaking. People don't see all this. They want to make fun of wearing diapers. And then here you got JS for Justice fucking trying to say Chris is wearing them and laughing. And no, fuck you, Jay. It's fucking. Shut up. And then she's like, you don't even like me. Why are you here or something? And then I told her, I
who
said,
said that you
we had
never liked her?
JS for Justice. Whenever I called her
She
out on
just
that bullshit
stopped hanging
post.
around with us. Yeah.
Right.
We
And I
never
didn't
said anything
know
about
I
it.
had a problem.
No.
Fuck, I took up for the bitch. She got my cherry pop on the panel.
You might want to read the paper.
Rhonda, who are you saying read the papers on Seth better?
Yeah, because I've read them multiple times and they don't look good either way you read them. So.
Oh,
Not
you're
sorry.
okay, Kathy. No, we don't announce where she works because people like to fuck with her job.
Oh, they've already tried to call all around.
And then they
town.
say when she don't work, they're like, oh, she needs to get a job. Then when she gets a job, they try to take it from her.
Yeah.
Trouble, but that this caseworker
Angel-
allegedly took Sebastian outside
None of
and
them
told
seem
him
to want
you
to
can't
deal
tell
with
lies
a
about
disabled
me.
I
child.
think
Go get
Katie
in
is the
trouble
only one
yourself.
that genuinely cared for him.
Yeah, me
I think
too.
she done the best she
Story from
could.
Chris Proudfoot in this
Anytime
other version
Seth
is
or
that
Sebastian,
he
sorry,
spanked
them two are
Sebastian.
fucking up. I
Sebastian
can't
went
get
to
their
You
names.
school,
said
told
this
the
to me the
teacher.
other night about the
Teacher
smile.
reported it to
Yeah,
CPS.
the smile.
CPS
It's always
came out
when
to
he's
their house that night.
Look.
while
well,
we
it
was
seems
at
to be
dinner
home alone with his
and
mom.
didn't even want to
And
hear
he's
Chris
like
Proudfoot's
so
side of the story. He
happy.
said, I already know what happened, and took Sebastian outside and talked to him. The boy needed help, and there was nobody
Thank
helping
you, Kathy.
apparently.
Okay, Liz, if you don't mind, could you play 23 for me one more time? Listen to Sebastian's
And
stepfather.
what's that? So what? It's
Mr.
still through
Proudfoot.
paperwork through court.
Was that the first time you had ever
It
hit
doesn't
him
matter.
in the
Like
belt?
so.
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
Right, Anonymous. Maybe that's the way she handles grief and stuff, you know?
No,
Years ago,
I
ma'am.
think it looks genuine. I think when it's him and her alone, that
Any
kid is
Oh, yeah,
happy.
totally different. Yeah.
3,
But you can
10,
see where maybe
1.
Chris is in the background where, yeah, it's a little
But
bit
I think
less.
she was
Yeah.
a good
Probably at least
mother. I
3 years
do. And I
ago.
think she done what she could
I
for
don't
Sebastian.
understand
I
how
really
that
do.
turned into a CPS or Child Protective Services complaint.
We did watch Peter Hyatt,
How
and I
were
didn't
they
like his
alerted
behavior on Peter
that you
Hyatt
hit him
either.
with a
That
So
did not turn into a CPS
sorry, Rhonda.
service call.
Again,
See,
As we
SRB,
know
he
that
does
we are
always look
right
happy,
now,
don't
we
he?
are learning a new search is being conducted by LA law enforcement volunteers, apparently recanvassing an area that has
That's what
already
I've been
been
saying,
searched.
Anonymous.
Why?
She's trained
Why
to
the
not show
focus on
emotion.
that one
just because he wasn't
area?
allowed to wear
Joining
them,
me in
though,
the
at
last
Seth's
moments,
doesn't mean that he didn't have accidents at Seth's.
Because Seth bullied him into not wearing them. That's why he didn't wear them. Look up the chromosome deletion he had. Can I share
He
my
didn't
screen
want
for
to
just a
deal
second?
with
and
having
split back over, sis.
dirty diapers, you know?
I just want to show this, and then you can go back to this while they're on this. I want to just show them. It's like one of the top fucking symptoms.
What is it?
Organ issues. Okay, here. Right here. Let me blow it up here a little bit. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm. Rare condition, the result.
Katie, speak up. DY, what did she got to speak up for?
She doesn't owe anyone. She only owes the law to be speaking up to.
Right,
and
she
from
don't know
what we
you
hear,
shit.
She's doing that. She doesn't owe YouTube to be speaking up, and neither does Chris or Seth, to be honest. But they're.
This is exact chromosome deletion that Sebastian has. Right here.
Organ dysfunctions, yeah. Facial dysmorphism, yeah.
That's the first one that pops up. Anybody can go looking. Shan!
We love you.
I'll never forget Shan on Easter. She said something about Jesus dying eggs. About died. Remember on Mark's Live? She says, Jesus is dying eggs or something. He sacrificed something for y'all to die eggs. Or I was like, that's my kind of humor.
She's always saying
Anonymous,
something.
right. She does. She's doing great. I don't blame Katie for leaving her house. She was there by herself getting death threats, people sitting in her driveway watching her, people stalking her, following her. I wouldn't stay there either. I wouldn't have went to the vigil. You don't know who's hiding in a bush to take her out.
Yeah,
You don't
right?
know the crazies that get into these cases, y'all.
You guys, yeah. That, yeah.
Y'all don't know that.
But, well, I don't know. Why would she? Yeah, well,
I like hearing what Angel's saying here, and I keep missing some of the comments. They're ignorant about the illness, both of them.
Mm-hmm. The men are. It's because they don't want to see that in the boy, right?
Angel said, I read a lot about it, and I was a midwife and neonatal nurse and never came across it ever. It's rare. It says it's fatal at one point when what I was reading.
No, Yvonne. No. Because he's been wearing them all his life. So
Yvonne, do your research. It's right here on the
For
screen.
real.
It's right in front of your face, and you still won't see
he
the
could
fucking
be
truth.
getting it because of his disease, and he could also have been getting it because at 7 years old now we know he was SA'd. So yeah, that's
Thank you, Smelly.
not true.
The best name on.
Like, if you
hey,
hate Chris, that's fine and dandy, but you have to be fucking fair about things, okay? Like, but I always said it. Katie's not my first suspect, even though, yeah, technically she was the last one to be around him, right? But again,
So was
she's
Cleo
not been my
Smith's
first
parents.
suspect. No, they don't have to tell the truth even to the law, but they certainly don't owe us anything. We can ask all the questions and want to know the answers all we want. It doesn't mean they owe YouTube
She
shit.
said same thing I said. They don't live long. Yeah, I seen that on there. So Sebastian had a short life already. Because it did say something about it being fatal. I want to say something all aside from Sebastian. It's Smelly stories here. You know, our favorite troll here. Smelly, did you see where the other night Smelly had such a fit in a show that by the end of the show she wiped half of one of her eyebrows off? I hate her now.
Fucked up.
Sorry, I just had to say that. Okay, let's get back to.
Use a permanent marker next time. Damn.
I hadn't seen her wear them like that.
You think he left on his own that night? Oh, I
kind of do too, because after I listened to Chris talk to someone about the trails and stuff the dogs hit on, and he was in detail about it. He knew he was out there on it. Chris was. After I heard him telling that, the dogs did hit. And on way back, there is a lot of woods.
How do you know that? Like, who are you? Are you related? How do you know that? Wait, sorry.
Can we block her? She's spreading misinformation and
hold on, wait 1 second, because that's a lie. I
or
can
how about
see
you
it.
come up here?
I can literally see it in his face, so that's a damn lie right there. And also this here. Who are you to know that?
Facial dysmorphia. Look on screen there. That's a.
How do you know that? Did you hang out with Seth when he had Sebastian to know there was no issues at home with his bathroom usage? Hello? Because if you didn't, then that comment right there is just hearsay, and it's unfounded as shit. Again, you can hate Chris Proudfoot all you want, but we're going to be fair over here. So come up here and like prove you somehow know this and you're like a source and you've been there and you know you can actually back this shit up, or you got to stop with that.
Eva Alaska. So what if they're planning another vigil 2 weeks? I wish these cases would do a vigil every 2 weeks until the child's found. Raise money for a reward fund.
No, you're not looking outside yours. So now with that,
we're hypocrites.
I am gonna goodbye
because we're being unbiased.
Yeah, it's you there, sweetheart, with the tunnel vision, not us.
And I'm not cool with people spreading misinformation about it. I mean, I've been different in the past and I've been on the bullshit, but both sides have red flags. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Katie's the most innocent one in this, and when it comes out, you motherfuckers better apologize to her. I bet you won't. I did on a fucking panel.
Yeah.
Yep, anonymous Chris was verified being at work.
I'll apologize to only her. Because I actually, even if it come out either one of them men, I don't feel
I
sorry for them. I'm
apologize to
not
Chris
apologizing.
only, and what made me apologize to Chris is whenever I heard him talking about them dogs, because that just kind of showed me that he knows
I
a
don't
lot
care.
more than, you know.
Well, yeah, he knows a lot more.
I know. I respect you. I get why you want to apologize to him.
He
I
can
get that.
say anything. Like, we all saw half of that shit, like, live, because we all know. We even know we saw the dogs ourselves, sis, so Chris can say whatever he want. That's the thing, is that what Chris is saying contradicts what we all saw with our own eyes. You have to actually watch.
What do you mean what we
the
see with
dogs.
our own eyes?
I'll send you the links, because, yeah. Chris, yeah. You're not just taking that phone call with him and the divers, are you? And, like, trusting that?
Yeah, I am, because that diver's legit. I mean,
I know the diver's oh, I know. But it, oh, yeah, okay, I've got some links to show you then. So you never watched Mac the dog and the dogs around? You didn't watch all that footage?
the audio, the dispatch audio.
No, I'm gonna find you some links. Because what Chris is telling that diver totally is different than what we all know happened and witnessed happened.
How do we know
right,
what
people?
happened?
Because we saw it. I watched it. I wouldn't be saying I literally watched it. I have to find you the links. Yeah, it's the dog's name was Mac.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, I gotta find some links for you because, yeah. Because I watched the one with the divers too, and it contradicts everything. And that's when everyone was like actually questioning, like, why is he going back? Because even Seth actually went back on, well, no, the dogs didn't hit now, and blah blah blah, and that isn't what originally happened, you know?
Right.
Like,
The audio proves that
so
the dogs hit because they was out there with the dogs
that's
while
what I'm
they
saying.
were
We can't
talking.
just
You
trust
know,
what Chris is
the
saying
dogs
to
were
the
at least
diver.
out there, so we know that's a lie that they wasn't.
Well, Chris can say whatever he wants to the diver. I'm not saying that the diver isn't a credible person. I'm saying that Chris can call whoever he wants and say whatever he wants to anyone. That doesn't mean it's true.
I know, but I'm just saying my
Because
opinion.
it does contradict everything that we heard ourselves from law enforcement. So that's weird to me. But maybe he's contradicting it because law enforcement told him shut up about certain things online. Maybe
Have a
that's
good
why he's
evening, Allie.
contradicting
Thanks for
himself
coming.
now. Maybe that's why they got to say they didn't hit, because maybe they got to try and pull back some shit to help preserve the investigation in some way. I don't know. That could be. I'm literally trying to be fair on it all. Hi, beautiful disaster. We are too. Ask yourself in like
We're a
30
hot mess
days.
over here. We ain't everybody's cup of tea, but we're our cup of tea.
We'll see if you're still subbed in 30 days.
Well, they'll still be hate watching, so we still get people no matter what.
True. Bye, Sally. What do we got here? Okay.
Yes, Kathy, my name's Cotton Candy Boobies. Not Cotton Candy Boobs. And it's nothing to be sexual or anything. It's just a nickname Cher gave me years ago.
Mm-hmm. Just because it was actually cotton candy on her pictures, but it looked like, I don't know why, it just looked like boobs.
And it stuck and everybody ran with it.
Yeah. I thought it was like big boobs with like a white
And it was cotton
tank top
candy
or something. Yeah.
And one day Duty Ron, because I'm friends with Duty Ron, and was over there, and he pulled up a comment of mine, and he said cotton candy, and he stopped at boobs, and that made me think, I want to be a little family, and I changed it to cotton candy KKB or something, and then The next day it was Duty Ron's birthday, and I sent him a little money for his birthday. And he said, I seen why you changed your name and stuff, and I really wish you hadn't. If you should change it back. And I was like, okay, it's all you needed because I only changed it because of him. So if Duty Ron's okay with it, I'm okay with it. Yeah, I was just cotton candy for a while on here, and then share.
Mhm.
And when I first, when it
We
very,
had
very
merch and
beginning, her and
everything
Mark
for
both,
you.
yeah, she was like cotton candy boobs, and Mark had this little dance he would do for me
Yeah.
with these fingers on the, good old
Yeah.
days. I can't believe we've been friends this long. I love it.
That's crazy.
In
That's
August, it'll be
why.
6 years, the Watts case.
Little bitches trying to think they're slick and like think that they may or could come between us.
So many has
Fun
tried.
a-holes.
I love when people say I'm using you for your channel. I love that. If they only knew, I don't even want my own fucking. Yeah, so many people have
Literally,
said that.
no. And even if that was true,
I said I'm
that
trying to be like you.
if anybody could, it's you, because you literally were in my first 100 subscribers and been my #1 cheerleader the entire time. And I would not be coming back on this channel if I didn't have the friend I have in Val, you guys. My channel would be gone a long time ago because it was at some point through the Wells case actually killing me. So, and it's because of her and Benny and my family
Tammy Barnes
supporting Tammy Barnes. Jaded's been there for a long time. Trulia, yeah, a few of you, and I know that's why I don't like to name names because I always forget some people. But
me too. And then people get mad. It's not on purpose, and it's like
there's a few people where Megs, where we know YouTube is YouTube, and yeah, true crime is in our real lives, but we also know when to shut off YouTube, and we are just real humans to each other, that we are there for each other. Benny,
and like me and
that's our
Cher,
fucking
we'll
brother.
go a
Me,
week and we'll
Val,
check
yeah.
500 messages every day for 2 weeks. Then we'll go a week
Silent.
and not nothing, and then But some people would get mad. Oh, you ain't text me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it, man. We understand we get busy and stuff, and
We understand we get busy. We understand mental illness and how
Kathy
anxieties
Bates.
work.
Yes, I knew Cher before she got with Mark.
Yep, she did. Yep. Long before I ever met Mark. She watched it all happen.
And then I remember we started going to the just car crushers, Florida car crushers, or
Cowboy car crushing.
yeah. Yep. I wouldn't comment, but you'd go over there and I'd lurk.
They crushed a car for us, remember?
Yep, I do. I was watching it. I never chatted though, because when I first started, I watched you a while before I chatted because I was nervous,
It's unbelievable watching someone take cars and put them in a fucking crusher.
Yeah, I
that can
remember
make
that.
you just like, it is so stress relieving for me that, yeah.
Kathy must know how Mark's doing, Cher.
Oh, he's good. He's at work currently. Yeah, he's doing well. He's staying busy. He's awesome. Well, his body's been hurting him a little more lately, but that kind of happens when he kind of doesn't have work for a few days and he's got nothing to do. He kind of gets more sore.
It's going to start warming up too, and he's
Yeah.
probably like me and gets seasonal depression. It just makes you down. And
yes, Mark is the hubby. Here, I'll show you right quick. Hold on.
Deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you.
Yep.
I'm still waiting on my intro and my commercial for my keychains, but
yeah. Oh, guess what?
Just saying.
I think he's slow.
I've been waiting 3 years for it.
Yeah, the Beard of Justice. The Beard of Justice is so good. Yeah, but yes, that's the hubby. He is awesome.
Seth and Katie both have said about that chromosome deletion. I don't think they would be lying about that, Con.
Mm-mm. Hi, Eve.
I gotta bite my tongue. Check messages in a minute, sis.
He does, yes. You can go in my description unless one of the mods can. Sis, we were just talking about you. Were your ears itching? Megs. Yeah, everyone loves his voice. He does have a channel. He's not on there a lot, but he's gonna start getting into it, and he's a man of many ideas, and true crime is really heavy on his heart. So, but yeah, he'll probably be live on Sunday. I'll tell him to do a live on Sunday. That he's got some new subscribers, so he'll yeah, sub him up if people can find his link for me and drop it in the comments, and then also it is in the description, Prairie Boy 77, and yeah, check out his stuff. There it is. Zena's got the link. Awesome, beautiful disaster. Thank you. Here, I'll tell him right now in a message. So I've been live for a little bit, and there's some new people in chat, and they say you have a nice voice, and they're subscribing your channel. So you will have to do a live on Sunday morning. Okay? Love you.
We
We'll
were
do it
almost
now.
sister wives, and your dad caught blocked him.
Yeah,
Remember
he was
that?
like, that got weird. He's like, how do I just find out I have a sister wife? I'm like, you just don't listen.
Then Pops caught blocked.
Yep. My dad loves you. He's like, I'm so glad you have a friend like that.
Kathy, he works a lot. He don't have a lot of time to do cases like this.
Yeah. And
He's a good
also,
debunker. If y'all need like anything
yes,
debunked,
that's
like
his favorite.
he's awesome at that. Why not get Seth and Katie on panel? No, thank you.
Or on the phone. Yeah. I don't know. So that goes to
No,
controlling you guys. I do believe that
I wouldn't let Seth over here.
the
And
reason
Katie's
why
doing the right thing, staying away.
maybe Katie doesn't want contact with Seth. Maybe Katie questions Seth herself. I don't know. Or maybe Chris isn't allowing Katie to have contact with Seth. We don't know. And again, she doesn't owe YouTube the
Sis, in the
answers.
beginning, they were working together, all three of them, until Seth started his YouTube tour. Then they cut him off. Well, I don't blame them.
Well, I do want Mark to get on the whole video and see if he can debunk it being garbage
Beautiful
trucks or what.
disaster, no. She will, no. Y'all leave Katie alone. She's doing the right thing. That's why she's getting answers from law enforcement and Seth isn't. Because Seth likes to run his
There,
fucking mouth and tells
there
too
you
much.
go. Didn't even think about that, but that's been said yet. Seth even himself, I heard him say, they're not giving me answers.
I would never, my
Which that
morals
should be
wouldn't.
telling. His test is inconclusive and the law is not comfortable giving him any answers to anything.
And they are with Katie and Chris, so they're actually cooperating.
He just hearted that voice memo, so I'm pretty sure he'll be live on Sunday, y'all. So make sure you're subbed and put your notifications on. I'm pretty sure he'll do it at like noon central, which is 11 for us. He usually likes to do it with some
What is she?
coffee.
You wish someone could have a real combo with their creator so she can have a voice and not be shoved down by these two men. Queen, you talking about Katie? Because I can direct you to that direction.
That's interesting.
But you'll never see Katie get exploited. What's that say?
I couldn't stay in my house if my kid was missing. Their smell, memory, fingerprints on walls would hurt me too much.
And there
That
by
might
herself,
be.
she would go nuts.
Yeah, that
Plus
might
the
be.
death threats, people sitting in the
That-
driveway, people going by stalking her.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, being
That's
home
dangerous as fuck,
alone.
man. I don't blame
Yeah.
her.
And we know because YouTubers love to go outside their houses, and would she want to be alone? I guess, yeah, I can see that, I guess. Because, I look at it and then I have to remember too what I gotta be careful what I say, but everyone judged my dear friend, my big sister, Billy Joe, in Quentin Simon's case Quentin Simon's grandmother because they were all out or whatever. And like I know for facts that they were told to not be under the roof. Okay, so that's why. And like there's gonna be one day where you guys will see all these facts, but again, it's I'm not taking someone's story from them, and also there's trials and everything going on, so I'm not gonna get my people in trouble because I'm for fair justice, even for Leilani, and I think people are about to find out a lot. Because again, I stand behind that. I do not believe Leilani was alone during that time. But that's my thoughts, personal opinions, nobody else's, me. Okay.
Who are you talking about, Kathy? Me or Cher? And we love Justin, and we might not agree with what he does over there.
I already
but
said
I'm
it.
sure he don't agree with what we do either.
Right, and he's just been in our chat for the show. And again, just because we are friends with people, me and Val aren't even totally
I'm the
agreeing
most
on everything.
one
in
of the
this
most
case.
understanding person and
Yeah.
forgiving and you'll ever find. I'm serious.
But we are adults, and again, at the end of the day, YouTube is
Wait.
YouTube, and we are adults and humans that.
How can I tell somebody what to do on their own panel?
Yeah, but just because we are friends with someone, or just because someone is even in this chat, or a member or a mod for me, which Justin he is, we are friends and we mod for each other. But there
And you
is
see what he
much
done?
we disagree
He
on.
probably noticed that I'm kind of on Katie's side, and he's not involving
did
himself
not-
in the chat and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he doesn't attack Val
He
for
didn't.
her thoughts. He didn't attack me for my thoughts, and he's very pro Seth and against Katie and stuff.
And
But
I'm not
you
going to
see,
attack. You respect me, I'll respect you.
I was in his chat earlier, and he was just in this chat, and none of us had to attack each other. You see how that works? At some point, YouTube is just YouTube.
Justin is a good guy. I don't
He
care.
really is. He's
You
done
cannot.
much good
Yeah,
for
he's-
many people.
And I know if I really needed something, and
He'd be there.
I would
Yep.
call him. He would be there. I guarantee it.
Patty Ponytail. Yes, you guys. So I do have to work in about 45 minutes, and I have stuff to do. So I'm going to end this one, but I am going to hop on my members tonight. So I will see whoever's there.
He is
probably
a great guy, Ron. Hi, good to see you.
Ryan, another good creator. Make sure you're subscribed. Ryan Finds Truth. Doesn't just get on a YouTube channel. Him and his wife get out there. And
Tracy,
they do.
who's threatening who?
I will, Kathy. I promise. He'll be live on Sunday for sure. I'll make it happen. He'll be bored because I'm going to work a few hours on Sunday anyway. So
I might go live a little later and talk about this chromosome deletion and stuff and continue a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So watch for Cotton Candies, and her link is also in the description. Mods can drop it quick, but subscribe to Cotton Candy Boob's channel as well, because she'll hop on and do a live. Plus, we always are helping each other and doing shit on each other's channels.
And you like to have something to listen to while you're at work.
Yeah, I like having something to listen to at work for sure.
CJ is a little fucking transphobic fucking piece of shit.
Whoa,
Tracy.
what?
That's the one that was up there with allegedly with Brittany J being homophobic and shit and trans bashing and body shaming a woman.
What? That's crazy.
So if you support that, that tells me all I need to know about you.
I don't even know, like, why is that even on here? Like,
He's a stalk. He's live streamed himself stalking Chris and Katie's house and Chris's parents' house and trying to trespass on their land on Chris's parents' house.
I'm getting it quick. Hold on.
CJ is a piece of shit. He is like Joe Dirt with his big old ball of shit walking around.
Joe Dirt?
Eating corn out of it. You know that big ball of shit?
There's Cotton Candy's link.
Yeah, Kathy, he's a loser. A grifting piece of shit with Brittany J. right along with it. And anybody that was on that panel, that set up her on that panel, why he done that to that woman,
Oh,
you're just as bad for not stepping up saying something.
hold on. Is banned? Hold on. I didn't see that someone. If you're still in here, I might have been too late at seeing.
Cuban Tay or whatever, please delete that. We're not gonna try and shame gay people at all or anything. We're not gonna do that here.
There's B and D. B and D said, can they come up
Who?
and point out a few things?
Who the
In
fuck's B
law
and
point,
D?
I can just on much. I just need 5 mins. I don't know, but they said, can they come up and...
Trev Time exploited Nina, and that's he's just as bad.
Are you still in chat, B and D?
Thank you, Cassie. Thank you, Angel. And anyone can come up on panel. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to use your real name if you would like to just chat.
You have to show it to me backstage real quick, just so I can make sure you're not, or if you do.
Yeah, you have to show your
bomb me,
face
I can,
backstage, but
then
that's it.
turn you over.
Or you could put
to
up a
YouTube
big old
police.
overlay and.
Yeah.
Yep, I feel like Trav exploited Nina 100% did. He took advantage of her, in my opinion. I don't like none of them. I like Justin.
I'm not seeing them in chat anymore, so.
What was the name again? I done got lost.
B
Did y'all delete that
and D.
Cupin Tay's comment? Let me get him off.
Yeah, it got deleted, yeah.
Because I'm not going to support none of that.
No, I think
Go
she
over to
deleted
Brittany
it.
J's for that shit.
Oh, okay, they are here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link.
Angel, let's not talk about that. PG is a fucking nutcase.
I dig her sometimes. She can be crazy, but sometimes.
No, you should have seen what she done
makes
that
me-
night.
Oh, yeah, I don't also like watch her all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I actually hardly watch her.
B&D, is that the one there?
Yep. I dropped the link. Let's see if I can pin it. There we go.
Right, Wacky. They say you making it up. No, boy. You're the one that fucking said it. Calling her a dude and shit. I mean, come on. That's fucking transgression and homophobic bullshit. And if you were on that panel and you didn't stand up and say, hey, this ain't right, you're part of the problem. And then as Dragonfly, that includes you, honey. I wasn't going to say nothing. Because I like you, but you should have stood up too, being the good person you are. Kathy, I'm happy for Ziggy and Fred too. I don't like Ziggy at all, period. But everyone deserves to be happy, and I really do wish they work, because even if I don't like you, you deserve happiness in this world. Kathy, I'm happy for Ziggy and Fred.
James, you gotta. You gotta.
Did they show their face?
Yeah, well, real quick before the thing went on.
No, they need to show their face a little
You gotta
longer. I
turn
don't trust this.
YouTube down.
Turn your YouTube down that you was watching on.
Real quick before the thing went on.
No, they need to show their face a little longer. I don't trust this.
YouTube down. Okay, I gotta kick you. Sorry. Well, anyways, I gotta get ready for work, so you can try it again later. Sorry about that, but yeah, I gotta get ready. So I've got 40 minutes to be at work, and I gotta get my clothes out of the wash and maybe straighten my hair. I don't know. Definitely try and look alive a little bit. All right, y'all. Well, Cotton Candies is gonna have a live to discuss this chromosome condition that Sebastian has. Oh, I'll try my best, Ryan. And I'll be in the chat when she does. And then yeah, I'll probably, if I'm not on members tonight, I will be tomorrow. We'll see how work is, and I'll try and hop on members for a little
All right,
bit.
and I'm going to try to go live in like 30, 45 minutes.
30,
So,
45? Okay.
yeah, because if not, I'll squirrel off and forget about it.
Right. Okay, so 30, 40 minutes she'll be live, and I'll be in the chat when I can to her live. So I'll see you guys over there. And then, yeah, I will
Thank you
hop
all so
on
much for a great conversation. To those that were willing to have a respectful conversation.
Right.
Baby back ribs, I love them.
At least be fair with it too.
Right. Let me
Okay,
stop my
thanks,
screen here.
sis. Love you. Oh, all right, she left. All right. Love y'all. I will see you over there in her chat when I can be in there. I'll be there, and then I'll see you members tonight for a little bit while maybe while we close up at work or whatever. See you guys soon. Bye.